update. My content is definitely gonna be a 180 than what I've expected. I was gonna use it as like a little diary type thing, but now it's gonna be a cancer journey. Yeah, I have cancer. I was diagnosed, officially confirmed that it is Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. I went to the doctor because I was sick and I was like, oh, maybe it's just anxiety. Maybe it's really nothing for real. Wrong. So whenever I went to the urgent care, I was like, I've been having chest pain. I think it might be anxiety, but I have been sick and I haven't had an appetite and I just overall feel like dog shit. And they're like, okay, we're gonna run a couple tests. So they ran a couple tests and it all came back negative for like the flu, COVID, and some other things I don't remember. And the lady was like, so since those came back negative, I just want to make sure and make an x-ray, get an x-ray of your chest since you're complaining about pain in your chest. And I was like, okay. So I got my x-ray done, and after I got my x-ray done, her office was like kind of like to the side, and I just hear her say, oh. She comes in my room and she's like, I want you to go to the emergency room as soon as possible. We can either bring you by ambulance or you have to sign a couple papers saying that you're refusing the ambulance and go there right now. I was in my head, dang, this must be serious. And she was like, I think you may have an aortic aneurysm. I don't know what that is. So I was like, okay, I'll go there right after here. And then she discharged me. I left. And I was Googling on the way to the ER, what is an aortic aneurysm? Of course, Google is going to tell me the worst thing possible. So basically, it's like a vein, and it's like if it blows up like a little balloon and then it pops, I can die from it. So I was like, oh my gosh, fun. What the heck? I was not expecting that. I was just expecting maybe to be put back on some like anxiety medicine or something. So then when I went into the ER, it was packed. Like, people were standing, all the seats were basically full, and the lady took my vitals and stuff like right away. And after she took my vitals, they brought out a wheelchair. I'm guessing because my heart rate was so high. It was like, I think 135, 140. I'm not really sure. And they didn't want me to walk back there, so I wasn't transported in a little wheelchair, wheeled to my room back there. And when I got back there, a whole bunch of nurses came in and they were like, okay, so we're gonna kind of gang up on you and like do a lot of poking and stuff. So there's like 2 people taking my blood, another one doing something with, I don't know what she was doing, but she was doing something with like some what's it called, vitals or something. But anyways, and then I got a vein, I think 2. I'm not really sure. There's so many poking and blood drawing and stuff, but they put a thingy in my vein to put, I think, to hydrate me first. And then when they came back, they were like, okay, so this might be a little bit serious. We're nervous that you have bacteria in your blood and that you're sepsis. We're nervous about that. So we're gonna give you different like bags put in my IV. So I think I went through like at least four different ones while I was there. And so I went to go do my x-rays, and then I came back, and then they put something else in my veins. And then once that bag was done, I went to they grabbed me and wheeled, like, the whole time they wouldn't let me walk, so I was being wheeled to everywhere. So I was wheeled to the CT thing that looks like a big donut, and they just stick you in. They put something in my vein to basically like make it glow, and it will show everything in my body and stuff. So they said after I got that done, I didn't really like it because it made my whole body warm, and I felt really queasy afterwards, like, and during while I was in there. It made me feel like I was going through menopause, like I had hot flashes or something. It was not a pleasant feeling. And she was the lady was like, so it's gonna take like an hour or two to get your results, and then we'll tell you what's wrong, basically. And then I was like, okay. So I was waiting for a long time. I did a lot of waiting, but good thing my boyfriend was there, so we cracked some jokes. The lady had came in, she was like, okay, so we're gonna admit you to the hospital because we found that your white blood cells counts are really high. And I was like, okay. And she was like, so you're officially admitted and you can't leave. I was like, oh, okay. So then, like, I think an hour or two later, after my CT and stuff, the lady came in with the young dude and her, and they had like sad faces, and I was like, oh no, in my head. And she was like, so we found lymphoma, we found a big mass on your chest and on your neck. And I was like, what the heck, in my head. I was just shocked. I didn't say anything while they were telling me that I had cancer. And she was like, we think you have cancer or some type of infectious disease. We're not sure yet. We want you to get a biopsy done, but we don't have the equipment to do that here, and we need to transfer you to another hospital. Whenever I heard the word cancer, everything just stopped. Like, it felt like the whole world just, like, I can't describe the feeling, but it was like, what the heck. And I didn't start to cry for real until I looked over and I saw my boyfriend started to cry when he heard her say, you probably have cancer. And I was like, what the? And then I started to cry, and she was like, it's gonna be a long journey, don't be scared. She was telling me how to keep my faith, and that for my boyfriend to be strong, and like I need to be strong, that it's gonna be a long journey, but I'm gonna meet a lot of great people along the way and stuff like that. And then she was like, I want you to call your family and let them know. If you don't want to call them, I'll call them for you. And I was like, okay. So I called my sister, she didn't pick up. I called my mom, she didn't pick up. And then I called my grandma, she finally picked up. And like, anyway, I was kind of hoping she wasn't gonna pick up, but just because I didn't want to tell anybody that I had cancer. Like, I didn't even tell them that I was going to the hospital because I felt sick. I didn't even tell them that I felt sick. Anyways, my grandma called, she answered, and she was like, hi, is everything okay? What's going on? Okay, and I was like, no, and then my voice cracked and I started to cry a little bit. So then my boyfriend took over the phone and told her that the doctor said I might have cancer, and she was like, oh shit. that was funny. That was kind of funny. But my mom was right there. I don't know why my mom didn't pick up. I forgot why she said she didn't pick up, but she was probably driving or something. But then my mom took my grandma's phone and she was talking to my boyfriend, and they were talking and basically told them to come and see what's up with the doctor and talk to me and see me, stuff like that. And then I had to wait a couple hours for a bed to be free at the larger hospital. Well, a room actually. A room to be free at the larger hospital. And then they transported me via ambulance. And I was like, dang, this is like really, like, I was not like in my body. Like, I was just shocked. Like, I came in thinking it was anxiety. Now I'm at my third hospital. Like, I'm my third doctor, whatever. And then while I was there at the other hospital, they observed me for the first day, and then the second day they did the biopsy. I was awake while they did that, and I was very, very nervous, but I was like praying and stuff, like asking God to calm me, to like basically give me a hug. And I was really nervous, and I was like tearing up a little bit, and I was like asking God to like kind of like show up or something. And then the transport team, the transporter, he had a Jesus necklace on. He had a cross on, so it calmed my nerves. And then I started to hear a voice like, "You're okay." So that calmed me a lot. And I was awake while they did it. So basically, they just numbed the area, and it felt like a little bee sting, honestly. And it wasn't completely numb because I could feel like the needles and him digging up in there. They used like over 6 needles. I don't know what they did. I wanted to look, but I couldn't look because like I couldn't really move my head on it because it was right there. But I just hear like clicking, feel him going in and out. It was just mainly uncomfortable. It was a weird feeling. After that, I went back to my room, stayed overnight, and then in the morning around like noon or 1, that's whenever I got discharged finally. But yeah, I have cancer. I'm gonna show y'all my little mask. Oh, I can't hold this and my phone. So right there, there's like 3 little big balls above my heart, and my heart is kind of crooked, and that's my spine. I told y'all I had a squiggly back, and it's right where a vein is at. I don't know, they explained it to me, but I have brain fog and I don't remember everything. But these 2 right here, that haziness is not supposed to be there. They're not sure if it's like one big one or like a whole bunch of little ones or something. But yeah, I don't know if it's anywhere else in my body yet. I get my PET scan later, and then they're gonna let me know if it's anywhere else and then adjust my plan to that. But I was highly advised freeze my eggs if I want kids whenever I'm older, and I'm really nervous about that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm 20. Kids are not even a thought. Like, I'm not even thinking about that. And I do know I probably will whenever I'm older. I want kids, but it's just a headache for real. Like, I just want the doctors to be like, "Hey, psych, you actually don't have anything. It was just a big old prank," you know? But that's not reality. That's my life. Just full of doctor's appointments and calling people, and that's probably one of the main reasons why I haven't fully processed everything. But it is what it is. That's how the cookie crumbled, and I'm trying to be optimistic and happy and positive, because being sad is not going to benefit me, and it's just part to my lore, I guess. But yeah.